In Lesson 2.1, we're going to look at the example, Who Survived the Titanic? In this example, we are going to be making a segmented bar graph. In 1912, the luxury liner Titanic, on its first voyage across the Atlantic, struck an iceberg and sank. Some of the passengers got off the ship into lifeboats, but many of them died. The two-way table below gives us information about the adult passengers who survived and died based off their class of travel. So we have first class, second class, and third class. We also have our totals. We're asked to make a segmented bar graph to display the relationship between survival status and class of travel for passengers. To do this, what we are going to first want to do is identify our variables. We have two variables here, class of travel and survival status. Once we identify the variables, what we want to do is we're going to want to draw our axes. Since we were asked to identify survival rates among the class of travel, when we scale our axes and label our axes, along our x-axis is where it's going to go the class of passenger, and then along our y-axis is going to be the survival rate in percents. And we'll look at for each of these classes the percent who survived and the percent who died. Before we begin to draw those in, what we're going to start with is our 100% bars. Remember, each bar represents 100% of the first class passengers, 100% of the second class, and similarly 100% of the third class. So now we need to fill in our bars with our survival rates. To do that, we are going to look at the proportion who survived within first class and the proportion who died within first class. So looking at first class, we have 197 out of 319, giving us 62% survived. And then we have 122 out of 319, giving us 38% died. Similarly, for second class, you can see of the 261, 94 out of 261, giving us 36% survived, so less, and 64% died. In third class, where we had the most passengers, 627, to look at the survival rate, we have 151 out of 627 survived. That gives us a total of 24% surviving. And that means that the remaining 76% died. Before we're finished completing the segmented bar graph, we need to add a key. So we need to, since I use the colors red and blue, I'm going to write down that red represents the percent that died and blue represents the percent that survived. For additional practice, please try exercise 5.